Entertaining. Cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Female Filmmakers Fuse with Alexa Polar and Robin Pabello, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Female Filmmakers Fuse. I'm your host, Alexa Polar, with
Robin Pabello. Happy Sunday. I almost said Saturday.
She forgot what day it was. We do this every Sunday, and she forgot for a moment.
I'm on Saturday.
It's okay. I do want to wish my parents a very happy anniversary. They're listening, possibly. My mom listens all the time. So just real quick, happy anniversary, 50th aniversario to my mom and my dad.
And how many years has it been?
53. 5-3. Hang on, did I get your mic on? Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, perfect. We'll get to our guest right now. I do apologize.
She's like 3 feet away from the mic.
Hey, mic check, right? So the call-in number is 818-602-4929. I'll say that once again, 818-602-4929. And if you're not aware, we have been streaming this on the LA Talk Radio Facebook Live, so you can actually watch us there.
Creepers.
I didn't want to say, but yeah, so you can watch it there and always come back to that. It does go on live every Sunday at 12 noon, and then it streams on podcasting streaming services like iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, etc., any of your favorite podcast streaming services. Today, our special guest, and I'm excited because this is our first costume designer.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Oh boy. No pressure.
No pressure at all. Isabel, let me have you say your last name, and I'll have you say it to the mic.
Mandujano.
Mandujano. That's a beautiful last name. How long have you been a costume designer?
15 years now.
15 years?
15 years.
Yeah.
Sorry. That way people can actually hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
15 years. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And what led you to that? What made you become a costume designer?
It was out of the blue, actually. Okay. I was working as an admin, doing clerical work up in the Bay Area, San Jose.
Okay.
And I worked at Fox Racing at the time in Morgan Hill, and there was a girl that worked in call center, and I was the receptionist, and she had moved from Los Angeles. Her family was all in editing.
Okay.
So she ended up moving back down here, and she was like, come visit me. I was like, okay. She was working on a film that was shooting at Sony lots, and I was just like, wow, just everything.
Right.
She was showing me each department, what they do, introduced me to the girls, the grip department, everyone. And when you look at wardrobe and you see all the clothes, of course, it's like glamorized. It's like, wow, you go shopping.
Everyone can see me telling her this, but
I see your hand. She's like, get in there.
Rowan's going to come in and be like,
get her close. I'm bad. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, we're on the radio.
We're here.
It's all good.
And, I was like, that looks fun. You go shopping, you spend someone else's money, which, still applies.
Right.
Still. So I kind of looked into doing that. I went on Craigslist as soon as I got home, and I found a feature film, an indie, that needed a costume intern for 2 weeks and no pay.
Okay.
And I was like, at the time, whoa, I'll do it. And
fresh blood.
Yeah, fresh blood, wide eyes. Didn't know.
But sometimes those are the best experiences to learn from.
It was, at first. And so she said I could stay with her. I stayed with her parents down here, and I gave a notice to my employers, which 2 weeks is a lot, because when you get like holiday,
right.
Yeah, and they were intrigued as well. So they're like, tell us how it is when you get back. And I was like, okay. It was the best experience ever. No pay, I got fed at her parents' house, so it didn't matter. And as soon as I got back, I was just like, I had the itch. I was like, I got to go back. I got to do that.
Yeah.
So I started looking for things to do on the side when I got back, I started finding short films in San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, Alameda. So I started doing that on the weekends because that's usually when like student films would be able to film.
Right.
And as soon as that happened, I did that for a year. I did music videos for like a Mexican band called Los Tigres del Norte.
I know who they are. I mean, I don't. I know who they are.
No, you're and the entire family probably know.
Right. I've heard of them. Yes.
Yeah, my grandma, my aunts in Mexico were like thrilled when I told them.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
wait,
I did that.
Do I know them?
I don't
know.
You had to have heard them.
You must have heard of them. I mean,
what kind of music is it?
It's banda, no?
Banda ranchera.
Yeah, banda ranchera.
Like it just depends how far back you go to their music, you know.
See, so Robin and I were more like when we first met. It was what Mana was the big.
Mana.
Yeah, that was our go-to, and then and then it was Juanes, So I
still think he's cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the rock en español, reggaeton a little bit.
A lot of salsa.
But salsa and merengue is our go-to, and because I'm Peruvian, I like some of the folklore of Peruvian music, But yeah, so I know who they are because my mom watches like
Sábado.
Sábado Gigante. Yeah, when it used to be on.
Sorry, I thought she was totally gonna catch on to that real quick.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but every time I hear it, I was like, I remember.
It's gone.
It's
not there anymore.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, even I remember listening to like 107.5 on Saturdays and like,
I heard it last night.
Oh, really?
Salsa. I was so excited.
Is it still salsa?
Yes.
But is it like, I miss like the good old salsa.
It was good stuff. I was driving. I went to get some food for my parents, and I was driving back, and I disconnected my phone because I had my Pandora on. And as soon as I did, I was like, whoa, what is that? And I looked and I was like, oh, cool. They're still playing salsa. So we're all segueing anyway. So, okay.
No, it's totally cool. I like it.
Los Tigres del Norte, I've heard of them.
Actually, I think I do know. The more you keep saying the name, I'm like, I know that.
I know you.
She'll sing the song by the end.
No. Dance the song. Sing the song, no.
That's cool.
But I did that. And then I had a friend that I worked with on that film, and she said, hey, I have a gig if you want to, come down and work on it. It's sort of long-term, It was doing wardrobe at Mattel because they have a trade show service where they have actors presenting, the following year's toys.
Right.
And you dress them themed to, the toy.
Yes.
That sounds like fun.
I know. Okay, so I worked on something, and we were at a fashion institute. And they had like this Barbie section, and it was like, I can't remember what his name is. I'm so terrible with like fashion, but
what?
Yeah, the fashion.
Oh.
Okay, she got that. she got it. Okay.
Hold up.
Fashion.
My niece today said, are we going to have some croissants? And I was like, yes, we are. Okay. So I should have gotten that. I didn't pick that up.
That's okay.
Jules is probably listening to this right now, too.
Yeah.
Croissants. Okay.
Well, it was Dior. It was Dior that had did like some.
Say it right, though. Dior.
Oh, my God.
With the aggression.
Sorry. Okay, back to your fashion. Go on.
Yes. So I got to see some of that, like the Mattel Barbie stuff that he had developed for like the runway stuff for that. So when you say yes, so when you're saying
fun is that though,
dude?
But I didn't dress the Barbie. A lot of people,
it.
when I tell them I worked at Mattel, they're like, "So you made the dresses?" Like, no.
But you dressed the people to look
that were
like
presenting
the Barbies
that,
and the
or it was just
Kens
basic like blazers. And,
okay.
But sometimes they would have you replica like the.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like that would still. I mean, there are still displays of it, and I'm just like, I want like a Barbie size.
So you dressed the real life Barbies.
Real life people. Another cool thing working with them was that we went to Comic-Con. So I would have to, design an outfit based on like what was that monster? I'm so bad I forgot the names. But anyways,
okay.
So
describe it. Let's see if we can visualize it and then guess it.
High school monster girls. I don't know. I'll find the photo and send it to you. Okay. I should have prepped.
You're fine.
High school
monster girl.
If you're listening and you know what she's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
High School
anyways.
Monster Girls. Wait, when was this? Like, I'm so
This 90s?
intrigued.
This probably was like 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years
But,
ago. I'm going way back in like 90s.
I made like the cosplay version of, the dresses.
Yeah.
And we would
That sounds like fun though too.
paint the girls so they match like the skin tone.
I know
and
what you're talking
everything.
about. I know what you're talking about, and I cannot remember it off for the life of me.
I will eventually remember.
Like they have like purple and blue
Yes.
and pink skin.
Yeah.
And they're
And they're
like
monsters.
they're kind of like after the Bratz dolls, but
Yeah,
like
I think I know who you're talking about.
before-
Okay.
Yes,
I think
yes.
We're all on the same
we're
page,
on the same
minus
page.
the name.
We just can't get the name. You know what? Because it was after us. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying like I know.
Stop
certain-
aging everybody.
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm just saying like that's why
You're
I
like,
don't
they're
remember.
the Smurfs?
I know that one.
You see?
I know that one.
You see? I bet my niece Brooklyn, if she was listening, she was like, it was this. And I'm like, okay, so sorry. Jules, if you're listening, please let me know what it was. I should put my phone here because sometimes they'll text me, it was this. Okay.
That's
It's like,
amazing.
Okay, so that's
So yeah,
sounds
we were at
cool.
Comic-Con doing that.
Those are
for
fun
the person.
costumes too.
Oh, it's so cool.
Did you
Yeah.
get to actually hang out at Comic Con as well?
Yeah, I mean, I had time, lunch break. I'd walk around, and
How crazy was it?
even when it's always insane. But even walking around, I'd be like, oh gosh, and take a picture.
Yeah.
And then keep going, because all these kids invest so much money, so much
Yeah.
of their time, like a year until that
Mhm.
Yeah.
happens. And just like the display is incredible. you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
They
really
even
cool.
like the 3D printing costumes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It costs so much to do
printing
that, yet
costumes?
they do it.
Yeah, like it's insanity.
is it?
I
Okay,
also
hang
got to
on.
document something like
Okay,
that.
so that's probably why you know it. So 3D printing costume.
And my
what is
mom's a
that?
Comic-Con like hardcore fan.
This
So.
machine, you download, whatever it is you want to make, and it just makes it.
Yeah, it can
Out
be
of,
like
is it out of like a
plastic.
cloth?
It's hard
Oh,
plastic. No,
hard
no, no,
plastic.
no.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well,
You know what a 3D hard
I know
printer
that,
is?
but I never heard them make a costume out of it.
Of course.
So I
they
thought it was
make
a
fabric now.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. So it's is it from fabric material?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's different machines, but there's one that is specifically making fabric
Okay.
with like a print or texture.
That's amazing.
It's really crazy.
That's
That one I
cool,
haven't
but at the
seen.
same time, I kind of feel like it takes away. There's so many things that take away from. I wish there was, cobblers. They don't
It's
have
all
them exist.
it's all instant now.
Yes,
you know?
that's what I mean. Like, there's a shoe repair place at a mall near where I live, and it's the only one that I know of. I tried looking it up before, and they're super expensive, but they're worth it
Mhm.
because if you really value your,
It's
your
a lot of
shoe,
work.
like yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting there, I was like, and the guy tells me, I was like, oh, it was my father's shop, and now it's mine. He
Is it
helped me.
Willie's?
No, it's like in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
And so he's like, and now I'm taking over it. And he's like, and there's not very much, and then there's not a lot of business either.
Well, that and then the rent.
Yes, at a mall.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so if you really break it down, like how many of us actually buy good quality shoes to have repaired?
I'm
That's
fine.
true.
A lot of people don't.
Right.
I do, but I'm just saying, like,
Well, we can't all be like you,
oh
Robin.
my
We can't all be Robins here.
She's
Wow.
like, wow.
Put me on.
That's
Put my
true.
mic on mute.
Okay, no, but no, that's really amazing. So that's a good start, and it's funny that you mentioned the itch because anyone that's not in the industry doesn't understand it. Like once you go to a set, like what you said, your first time experience was being on Sony lot. That was Robin's as well. Her first time was on the Sony lot, correct? It's like you're on that lot. You're just like it's
magical,
right?
yeah.
So it's like anyone. It is.
It really
I
was.
was in stereo. So funny.
But it's weird because like when I take this is not true because I took the first lot that I took my mom was Paramount. Okay. But when I take her to Universal Studios, she gets as excited. And anyone that's not in the industry, when you get excited, especially when you're doing that tour, I'm like, that's what we feel
Yeah.
when we go on to
Yeah.
another lot, and it's not even as glamorous.
You're so
'cause
wide-eyed.
yeah,
and
because
it's like-
all you're seeing is like people moving ladders around and something like you're like, wow.
like in
wow.
movies, when
Yeah.
they show the background,
Yeah.
it's like people ladders,
Yeah.
someone's in costume. and you're
Yeah,
like,
someone's
no.
moving a
That's
tree.
very.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
so
when does that
staged.
happen?
Okay, no, it does. Okay, so I was on the flip side. We were on the Universal backlot, and they were like, "Oh, we need to hold for tram." I was like, "What? Are you serious right now?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Hey guys," like over the walkie, I'm grabbing my shirt collar. I'm like, "Hey guys, everybody wave at them." And then like every time, because we had to wait, so then it was like the next time we're like, everybody freeze. Like,
That's what I would have done. I would have like froze like as if we're filming something. That just
See, but
for
how exciting is that for
shits
the
and
people on the
giggles.
trend? They're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that's our first experience on
Yeah.
any set. Like, and
Well-
it's nothing great. You're just literally like, look, I'm on stage 15 or something.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you take a picture of it and people.
But it's
And then the whole
fun.
crew looks at you. They're like, oh, they're visiting.
Yeah. No, first time.
it's fun.
Newbies.
Newbies, fresh
No,
meat.
what's funny is like when the tram person that has like the microphone, they're like, and to the left, you see them filming blah, 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 blah. And you're just like,
So,
Yeah.
so what was blah, 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 blah?
I don't remember. It
Yikes.
What?
No, I'm
What do you mean?
kidding.
It
Universal or where?
was Universal Backlot, yeah. I think they're the only ones
I
that
think
have
it
a
was
tram.
actually called blah, 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 blah.
No,
No, Warner
Oh.
Brothers does too. They do the tours.
they do. Oh, they do.
You know, I've never done a tour at Warner Brothers.
I haven't
yeah,
either,
yeah.
but they haven't. They
I
have
mean, I've never done a
yeah.
tour, but
I went there once for the Ellen show.
I think it was Warner Brothers. What was it?
One more time. Warner Brothers.
I don't know.
Beetlejuice.
So good. Such a great movie.
So now my question is this: do you have any particular favorite genre or period? Do you costume for certain periods, or would you like to, or have you thought like I can't wait to Sunday do like a I don't know, like an 18th century or something like that?
Luckily, I've been able to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even like day playing or helping shop or pull costumes from. My favorite is working on post-apocalyptic or horror,
Okay.
zombie
Okay.
stuff. I like distressing, you know, like pouring blood on someone. It's a lot of fun. The cleanup is the worst.
I was just
but
like, all right, let's get into this. She likes pouring
that's
blood on
my
people.
favorite. Yeah, that's been my favorite. It's just, you know, being able to make it look a certain way. You
Mhm.
know, instead like this, I could buy it, but like I have like a kit.
Mhm.
I have
To
mixer
distress
to
everything.
distress it. I have like a actual like little saw thing, and I brush it, and you get the
Frill.
battered hole.
Yeah.
You know.
We ran over a dress. We kept running it over because we were remember for
No?
in Vegas when we were in
Oh.
Nevada and we were doing that.
Was it that kind of night?
No. No, we were filming, what was it? A music video, I think. Or you were, and it was like a white sheet thing and it was like too new.
Oh, I
So we're like, what do we
remember.
do? And we're like rubbing it on the floor and I was like, it's not doing anything.
You
So we
ran
just
it
like,
over?
we ran it over a couple
How'd that
times.
look?
I think it turned out pretty
It was
decent. right?
okay.
I mean,
I mean, it read well on
On-
screen,
yeah.
on camera, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. if
so
we had a
obviously we're not
costumer.
professionals.
But that's the new way to do it. I'll try that.
You're like, I'm really pissed.
I was like, I heard before that this works.
Negative.
It was, I mean, you get tire marks, so we had to start rubbing the
yeah.
tire marks off. So we're
Rub the
just like,
fabric together.
Just,
Yeah.
just so you know, I think we were in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
So there was like really
Limited
nothing.
resources.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just like, how can we do this? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, get the I was like, rub the white dress on the wheels.
Oh my God.
Because
greasy.
I was like,
yeah.
there you go. There's some like muck and you can just like move it around. I was like, I don't know.
because
I was like,
we were
rub
on
it
the
on
desert.
rocks.
We were trying to
Yeah,
do that,
yeah.
and then it wasn't coming off as well.
because it's dirt from,
Yeah.
from the desert.
Yeah, so it's
Doesn't-
kind of
there's,
like, all right,
There's no
well,
mud.
next time you do one, put it down, get a rock, and just
Yeah.
there we
Yeah.
go. Tricks from
there
the
you
trade.
go. Yeah.
That sounds cool. Okay, so yeah, that would sound like
So
fun.
yeah, so the Mattel job got me down here.
Okay.
And from then I've just been dipping in everything. I've done music videos, short films, features, reality shows, everything. It's
And
fun.
When you stuck it out, because it's now 15 years, obviously
I
you stuck
know.
it out. You're like, I'm still
Struggled.
waiting. So now this is now your go-to. It's your career. It's not a.
It is.
Okay.
And you know, there before when I first started, you're just trying to get your connections going and trying to get work, and then there's times where you don't have work and you're like, what do I do? And luckily there's temp agencies.
Mhm.
And I remember always signing up with temp agencies and like they have a job for me, but then I get a call for a film or something. I was like, thank you. Like I don't have to go sit at a desk.
Yeah.
You know, so luckily I haven't had to do any other type of work.
Okay, that's
Um,
cool.
Yeah. So
No, that's really
day
cool.
playing really helps.
Yeah.
You jump
Yeah.
in and help someone else like for
Yeah.
a day or two, and then you get called for a job.
No, that's awesome.
So I have a question for you. So
Mhm.
do you do you like to make your own clothes?
Oh, jeez. Everyone has.
and like if you had to, would you?
Yeah. When I get a job and something has to, if it's non-union, because union, they have someone
Of course.
to do that, and it's awesome. But non-union, when you have to have something made, go buy the pattern, make it.
Yeah.
For myself, I have a growing pile at home of things that I wish I'd had time to make.
You definitely have time to.
15 years back, but you really have to make the time for yourself, to make the things you want.
The other thing I was going to ask you is, so they're now releasing patterns from the 20s, 30s, and 40s, and 50s and 60s that, like, I don't know. Does that excite you? Because it excites me.
It does. Because when you get the patterns now, like if you go on eBay and you get the old patterns, the sizes are so small.
Oh, they're tiny.
So now the fact that they're making the patterns from that era, but sizes of today,
it's
awesome.
Right?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's really interesting, too, because, like, when you go into, like, architecturally and you go into a home that's been built in the 1950s, you're just like, dude, these people are short. I was like, this is a perfect size.
Doorways. Yeah,
this is a great size. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Just saying.
I call it Robin size.
Me.
Yeah. It's like, every time I see like a small little door, I'm like, look, Robin, there's a door for you.
Send her through.
Just so you know, I am 5'1". Thank you very much.
I'm not that much, taller.
5'4" is like the average height for a woman.
Yeah.
I am a petite. Like,
Le petit.
Yeah, I think I'm 5'4", 5'4.5". I think somewhere there. I don't know.
But
don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
It was just
5'6".
funny.
Huh? Okay,
I'm
the tallest
5'6".
one here. Whatever. We're all looking up to you.
Hello.
Hey, there's small, medium, large. But no,
I'll
yeah.
take it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I do like that, and I thought that was really interesting. And plus, like, it's kind of funny. Like, I was telling my friend's daughter, I was like, dude, you're wearing something that I wore in high school.
Oh my God.
The
And
90s
it's still
is
around.
back. I know. It's like full circle.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like, even though the 90s fashion is back, it's still like everything is in fashion right now. I shouldn't say that because I'm not a fashionista.
I'm not either.
Fashion.
Fashion.
Yes, I have some clever ladies that will help me with that. But I just thought that was so funny that I just saw her and I was like, okay, that's back in fashion.
Was it
Little
a
chokers.
with a crunchy? Was it the crunchy?
No, it's crunchy, but
Scrunchy.
it was
Scrunchy. I said
was-
crunchy.
It's okay. But, there was the choker, but it was like the pinstripe, like the muted colored pinstripes with like, and it was kind of form fitting, long sleeve, a small bit of crop, and then like the jeans.
Oh, with like that little
Yes.
frilled. Oh my.
So something that you would see on Clueless.
The mom jeans. Oh, totally.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
mom jeans have been in for a while
It's
now.
just crazy.
I mean,
Huh.
I'm more into comfort.
I'm glad the skinny jeans are going out though.
Yes, the only
on
thing
men.
is,
I'm glad that's going on.
Oh.
God, that
well,
was
and
horrible.
I think both. But
Both.
yeah, because the skinny jeans were so crazy.
Yeah.
Now I just wear like holy pants. It's fine. Just like these are comfortable. I don't care. But
Ventilated.
yes. Well, no. So I was shopping and I saw jean skirts again. Like, I was like, dude,
Yeah.
damn it.
Wish I would have saved mine.
Oh my god, it's so funny. I mean, I still have my jean jacket, but I was just like, this is insanity.
British Knights. Remember British Knights?
I don't remember.
Yes,
The
BKs.
sneakers? Yeah, BKs.
Oh, BKs.
They're
okay.
back.
British
They're-
Knights.
I've seen them
Hello.
around. I was like, wow.
That's
I
cool.
never really liked them because they were just so chunky.
Yeah,
But they're back.
they're back.
They're yeah.
All
they-
those chunky
no,
sneakers.
Cross Colors is back too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my
Really?
brother's gotten a couple of things, and he was like, "Check it out," and I was like, "Cross
like,
Colors."
oh my God.
that's back. And I was just like, or is that old? Because I know we both rock the jackets and stuff. I was like, "Did you
Just
find that
saying.
deep down in the
Yeah.
closet?" And he was like, "No, they're back." He was all excited.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
Stussy
Sweet.
and
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
yeah, because Stussy was huge. I mean, I'm happy that like like the old throwback of Adidas and Nike is back because like I'm an Adidas fan, sometimes Nike, but more Adidas because of soccer. But
whatever's at TJ Maxx, like whatever I can get that's on sale, I was like, score.
Well, they have a lot of brand
Yeah.
name stuff
oh,
there.
yeah.
dude, they have
Yeah.
everything.
We're all
Just have to
plugging away.
scour.
Plug.
Yeah.
plug.
Plug. Hi.
Sponsored by. Come on, sponsor us.
Things.
That's funny though. That's interesting. So, good question, Robin. Good segue. What would you say to someone that was trying to get into this industry and wanting to do what you're doing?
Just don't be afraid to bother people.
Okay.
You know, like now we have Facebook, we have Instagram,
Mhm.
and I've had people follow me
Mhm.
and message me saying, I make cosplay costumes, and it's awesome that, I can look at your photos and see what you do and kind of get inspiration. And what do I do? And I love referring people.
Oh, that's cool.
There's always girls coming out of school and they're like, how do I get in there? I was like, well, you can PA,
Mhm.
you can intern. And usually I keep their info, and there's Facebook groups, costumers,
Okay.
looking for people,
Mhm.
like someone green that wants to come and help. I just
Okay.
need someone to help me organize or whatever. And, all of us will refer people, even entry level,
Nice.
just so you have to help
Yeah.
each other out.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. My other question was, who do you work more closely with on set, like from beginning to end? Because it's a new process for me, and it's one that where I still, because I write and direct, and when I get questions thrown at me, and in my head I can visualize it, but coming out the words is not working. Ironically, coming from a writer, so if they're like, "What's the look?" and I'm like.
You do that face?
That's the exact face I make. Headlights, deer.
Blackout.
Yeah. Like gone fishing in
Yeah.
my eyes. So.
I think I'm gonna redirect your question because I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So originally when you first get a call on job, so let's say it's for a feature,
Mhm.
what is your process?
Well,
Good redirect.
negotiate with producers first.
Mhm.
You get hired, and from there you directly talk to the director. Because his vision, you make
Or
your known,
hers.
or hers,
Mhm.
and you just take notes. What is it they're looking for? You start investigating characters.
Mhm.
And then from there it's with the art director, because of course you don't want to dress them in colors that they're in the same room.
Yeah.
You collaborate with everybody.
Gotcha.
It's everyone, the DP, because of patterns
Right.
on the camera.
Yep.
Right. So it's everyone.
So-
So just leading into that. So when do you get to read the script, and do you ever get that freedom to kind of like
That wasn't going to be my
play?
question. Yeah. Because if you're dealing with someone like me that I'm just like, and I describe a character but not what they're wearing,
Mhm.
does that help you? And do you ever go and be like, okay, if I was the director working on this project with you and you say, okay, I read that this person is this.
Mhm.
Is this more so the look you're going for? Because that would
Yeah.
help me more. Because then I'm like, yeah,
That's where
You
we
got-
get
okay.
we could do our look,
Okay.
lookbook
Okay,
for each
good.
character.
okay, because
And then from there you start narrowing down
okay,
what it is that character should look like. And then a lot of the times it's not just a character. You have to kind of ask personality, habits,
Mhm.
because if someone's like a really weird character and they're very fidgety,
mm-hmm.
like look at you pull your sleeves all the way down, your whole you're like gripping your sleeves. So
she's talking to
obviously
Robin.
that's a nervous habit, so that character could have that.
Mine is hands in pockets.
Yeah,
so I
so-
need pockets.
So from there is like where the distressing comes out, because wear and tear, you
Yeah.
have little holes, So it's little things that you have to think about for that one character,
Yeah.
She is a character.
She's like hiding it now.
She's like, good.
She's like, what are you
Thanks
talking
for pointing it
about?
out.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Today, making Robin awkward. No, that's great, because I always wondered that, because I get that question and I'm literally, I thought I described it.
No, yeah.
I was like, I thought it was there. Like, I don't know, and sometimes if I write a character based on someone that I've already seen,
Mhm.
like their performance or whatnot, so I'm writing it not on another character but on that actor
Mhm.
per se, then I sometimes get the actors come to me and say like, how do you want this? How do you want my hair? And I'm like, you have it already. Like, pretty much I wrote it for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And they're expecting like, I'm going to
But
have
they
new
need deeper.
right. And
Yeah.
that's where I just get,
You're like, I don't know.
you're right there. Read the script. Figure it out. Show up and
No,
I'll say,
that's the reason why you give them the direction.
just show up.
show
Just
up.
show up. But I'm just saying, like, that's something I'm working on, because I never know how to answer that properly. What would you suggest would be a good way for me to work on that, or how I should answer it, or what suggestions do you have for someone like me?
For someone like you.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Therapy time.
Oh, no.
Where do
How
I
dare
start?
you. I don't know. Just, I mean, if you're writing about someone like that, write everything about that person.
Okay.
Their habit, like I said,
Their habits,
everything. Like,
okay.
Like what intrigued you to write about that person?
Okay.
Like why did you choose that person in the first place?
So, right. Okay. So, and then their habits and everything. Yeah. So I should make notes because then that helps you out, and it also will help the art department.
Makeup, hair,
okay. Okay. That actually is helpful because I wouldn't have. I just thought they should know just based on what's there. No, I'm serious though, because I was just like, it's right there. Yeah. So that's Robin's making faces.
Yeah, because you write backstories to your characters. That's why I'm kind of confused as to what you're saying. And that's where you should put all
the details.
I do write backstories, but I don't have like what she was describing. Like she fidgets a lot. She's like, I'll say it, but I don't realize that I've said it a couple times in the script.
If it's key things that you want to accentuate, I think that's what's important. But I think that if you allow your actors to discover them, and that's the reason why you have that time to connect with them.
But I'm saying, like, I didn't know that was a key factor to explaining it to a costume designer. I thought when they say what's the look, I was like, I didn't understand that they meant like that was part of it. Like, okay, well we
need their background.
Right.
What, like? What have they gone through?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Because when I hear that, it's just a question. I'm thinking like, I guess she wears slacks and skirts, or that's what I thought the answers were. But then also, like, what mood are they in? Because depending on your mood, you dress differently. Exactly. Yeah.
So are they depressed? Are they happy-go-lucky type of person?
Yeah.
So
that helps. That's what I was saying. Because literally, when I get that question, I think it's a literal question to what are they wearing exactly? What do they look like exactly? You know what I mean? Like, they're always wearing this type of clothes, and you're right. In
your head, you have it.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like, that's what they want. Is that the question? Is that the answer that they want? And that's why now I understand that it's like, give key things like, what are their habits? What are they going through? Because that helps. And now I know how to break it down more. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Does that?
It's
but
perfect.
your character's gonna arc regardless.
No,
so
I know that. And I can describe that, but I'm saying like, when I just get that question, and it's a vague question. Not that it's a vague question, but for me it is, because then I'm thinking you want just one answer. And now I understand it better. All. Exactly. Now I understand it better, that I can be like, at this point, this is what this character is going through and what she's going through. And I like the creative input because I'm not good at that. Like, I am not a fashion person. I'm more about just being comfortable, right? But I know that my characters that I write some of them are fashion people, and I can't write that because I don't know it. So when I have someone come in, and if they say, what are they into? I'm like, they're into fashion. Like, there you go. You tell me what's good.
You're like this magazine.
Yeah, here you go. You tell me what's good, because if I'm still that person, like if I hear Robin tell me a story a long time ago that she liked a leather jacket once or something like that. And so every time I see a leather jacket, I'm like, look, I found this leather jacket. And she's like, I don't like it. And I'm like, oh, what a...
Don't remember this conversation.
Yeah, I do.
She blocked it out.
She did, but I remember that conversation like it was like a big thing because she got this leather jacket when she was in Europe. And
my mom sent me a care package when I was in Europe and it was snowing, and she's like, "Here, you could use this," and I was like, "This is cute." Right. So that was the only leather jacket.
No, and that's what you said. That was the only leather jacket, and she described it and stuff like that. And then she didn't have it anymore. So every time I see a leather jacket, I'm like, "Here you go, leather," And like, I'm not thinking like what the cut was or what the style was.
It's just a leather
jacket, or the sentimental value behind the fact that she received it from her mom.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking she said it was just the one leather jacket, so I was like, "Oh, okay, here's another leather."
I don't think I've ever worn a leather jacket since. But it was just like...
Right. Yeah. But I'm saying like the time you shared that, you said it was just the only leather jacket you had, and you haven't found one like it. So that's why every time I see one, I'm like, check it out. Is this it? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay.
You don't have it anymore?
No, so it got ruined. It's like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but somebody had accidentally ruined it. So there was no way of repairing because it's leather. So I was just like, okay, well, I'm not going to wear it anymore. Yeah. So I just donated it to somebody else.
So they could fix it.
Yeah.
So she donated a messed up leather jacket. Here you go.
No, because other people could probably utilize it. I wasn't going to use it because I was just like,
it's ruined.
Yeah.
For you.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not I could not create something nicer from
Can't
it.
repair. Oh boy.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get you out of that because then all of a sudden you're gonna be getting like, hey, can you repair this for me?
She's all, I have like a pile in my car.
She's like, here you go, here you go. Nice meeting you.
I have learned. Okay,
Thanks
so
for
I
coming.
I have on the last feature I was on, I had a costumer and she had taught me because I was like, God, everything needs to have pockets. Like I'm a pocket fanatic. I actually won't buy things unless they have pockets.
The pockets everywhere.
Yeah, and so I had a onesie. I organized a onesie day on set, and I was like, hey, we should do a onesie day. And they were like, oh, that's cute. And I was like, hey, did you guys hear we're going to do a onesie day? I was just like, spread it.
Did it work?
It totally did. But so my unicorn Pegasus onesie, which is magical.
Is it white?
It is white
I have it.
with gold wings
Yes.
and the rainbow mane and the tail. Yes. So there's no pockets in that.
No pockets.
So I was just like, this really needs pockets. I was like, I wonder if I could just make this. And so the costumer's like, okay, I'm going to show you what to do. She literally, like, with 2 pieces of paper, showed me what to do. And, like, I came to set and I was like, look, I got pockets. And she's like, those are huge. I was like, yes, they are. That's what happens when you let me make my own pockets.
Hey, but you could fit a lot of things in there.
Oh, it was
it's
so
cool,
perfect.
Right?
It was rad. And I got the same fluffy material of the white to, like, make it match on the inside. So it's, like, fluffy
look
and
at
warm.
you.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's interesting. Thanks
So
for
I
sharing.
learned that. No, I'm just saying I learned that from a different customer.
So in your department, how many more or less are within your department, and what are their titles?
Okay, so there's a designer, wardrobe supervisor, key costumer, set costumer, and costume PA.
Okay.
If you're on a project that allows you to have all those
Right.
people.
Right.
It's wonderful people that
Yeah.
you have that.
Yeah.
So ideally,
So ideally, it's awesome if you have more than just you.
right. Right.
Yeah. So for those
Yeah.
listeners that get to have like this hierarchy of a department, can you kind of go through what their responsibilities are and what their involvement is from the beginning to the end? Because
Yes.
there's a lot of fun stuff at the end that I didn't know that I discovered because I was asking lots of questions. So
Oh,
There's fun stuff at the end.
at the end of like the movie,
No, I know what
Okay,
the end
so-
is, Robin.
no, for a costume designer.
That's what I was
for-
going to
for
ask
their
her.
department.
Where does it stop for you?
That's
Like,
what
are
I'm-
you involved at all in post? Are you in?
No. I'm just saying I want her
Okay.
to describe
Okay.
like each level of person and what their responsibilities are from start to finish.
Okay.
Okay, so the supervisor, when I've supervised, it's always, helping the designer because the designer's out, shopping or sourcing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of overseeing the department. You help with the budget, receipts. And I think now they're trying to do another wardrobe supervisor position that just strictly takes care of the paperwork.
Okay.
Because for the one supervisor to take care of budget, receipts, and then kind of oversee the department is
That's
a lot of
It's a
work.
ton.
That's a lot of work.
It's so
Yeah.
stressful.
That would make sense.
And
not
I've
too
like
different.
pulled my hair a lot of times doing
Yeah,
that. I'm just
don't do
like,
that.
Don't do that. So there's that. The key costumer, almost the same,
Okay, yeah.
but and then set costumer, obviously they have to stay on set, look at the screen, make sure everything remains the same, continuity wise.
Yeah. Okay.
PA gets the joys of doing everything, that
Right.
they need to do.
Getting it for
Yeah.
within that department.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Who else did I leave out? That's it.
And then what happens to all the clothing?
Oh, the clothing, the
Oh,
production.
that's the fun part
The
for
production keeps it. Oh.
I was like, I was waiting for the fun. I was like, oh, there we go.
Yeah, the production usually keeps it because reshoots,
Mhm.
things like
Okay.
that. If it is a production where they themselves say no, there's no reshoots. A lot of times they're like, oh, you can keep it, and I'm like, I don't want it, So then here comes the crew, like, hey, what do you got? So
Which I
sometimes-
didn't know. And if I had known that, I'd be like, I want this. But thankfully, the costume wearers that I was on, me and the lead actor, she's way tinier than me, i.e. Sarah Hyland. She's adorable. But they were like, oh, yeah. And I was like, I would love some of this.
And a lot of times crew before production ends, they're like, hey, what are you gonna do with
Yeah.
that suit over there that
Right?
he's wearing, you know, and they're like, well, what size is it? You know, like, and
Okay.
immediately you're like, okay, let me find out, you know.
You're like, okay, that looks adorable.
Yeah.
I would love.
size is
yeah,
that?
where did you
Right.
find it? Where did you find it? Where can I get it?
Do the
Which I-
actors ever ask for it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And do they get priority over the crew?
Heck
Yeah,
yeah.
they do. They wore it.
Of
It's
course.
their size. It was
Yeah.
bought for them.
It's
you know?
custom fit to them. Like it's amazing.
Did you hear about the whole Shia LaBeouf thing that happened to him where from the Indiana Jones, I mean, all his projects, so he had a lot of the wardrobe, and what was it, Kanye went to his house and said, oh, can I have like some of this stuff? And the one thing that he was really heartbroken about was the Indiana Jones hat that he wore for the film that he did. He said he went to his closet, it was gone. Every article of clothing, the hat, he took everything. Kanye took all his clothes.
Are you kidding me?
No, and
What?
he said that was the last time he ever spoke to him. He's like, he couldn't believe that he did that. He thought he wanted like one thing. He's like, oh, can I have like a memorabilia? Because he's like, that's my movie stuff. Like I have sentimental things.
Why would you do that?
And so he thought like, oh yeah, you can have like one. So he thought
Don't
he was
even-
gonna
One
get
whole
one.
wall.
He took the entire
That's jacked
everything.
up.
Yeah, and he said he said it on some article, and I don't remember if he ever responded to it because it's Kanye, like he's just weird.
Yeah, no.
But whatever. But yeah, I just like I was like, oh my god, and people were just making fun of him because it was during the time where Shia was going through his rough stage.
Yeah.
And so he said it was just added to his depression because he's like, I don't care, keep the clothes, I want my hat back. He's like,
Yeah.
I just want my hat back. And he said the guy, he's like, never called, nothing, never ever talked to him again. He kept everything, and that was it.
That sucks.
And I was like, that's crazy. And it's crazy that he put it out there, and this guy gave no.
Well, the fact that he asked, "Can I have some of your memorabilia?"
Right.
Can I have? No. It's like,
What do
why is it here in my home?
That just says something about Kanye, though, because it was the same thing with Pete Davis. Like he had that dinner meeting. Did you hear about that? Like
No, tell me.
he had like I forget who it was. He was super excited to have dinner with this person, and they were going to discuss things. And it was just supposed to be them two. And so Pete said, oh, like, it's my treat. Because it was kind of like, I look up to you. Like, I'm going to treat you. Like, and the guy's like, all right, that's cool. So he showed up, and it was just them two. And all of a sudden, Kanye showed up.
He's everywhere.
Yeah. And I think he was with his wife. I don't recall. But Pete said he's like, he never, ever wanted for this to happen to anyone again. He said he sat there and ordered everything on the menu and then didn't really eat any of it. And he didn't pay. He's just like, whatever. And he walked away, and Pete ended up having to pay for all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, he said, and this was all over the place. Like he said, it sucked. It was really just a crappy thing to be done to him. He's like, I'm just an SNL. I don't like you have how many hits and all this stuff,
How
and you're
many
married to
houses,
who?
that mansion.
Exactly. He's like, he
Maybe
just
all
came.
his money's tied up.
Right?
In it's like,
I was just
someone
like-
feed me.
So this guy has a lot of food issues and all of Shia LaBeouf's clothes. I'm like, what
It's
is
just
going on?
Odd.
But yeah, so that's interesting. I didn't know that the crew could do that.
I didn't know that either, but I mean, I would never ask unless I was close enough to those persons to be like, this is really cute. If like, where did you get it? And then sometimes they're like, oh no,
Well, that's
we
what
can
they
get it.
say. They're like, "Oh, where did you get it?" Because I want to go find it. And
Which is true.
I already know like what they're going to get to. You know, like.
Oh, see, no,
can
I
you
actually
ask if you can
mean-
have it?
Oh no, see, I wasn't asking if I just wanted to know.
But there's people that, and I remember seeing this on the news a couple of times where people that costumers and such, and their side business would be having the movie memorabilia of the clothes, and every like once a year they would do a big sale. Because I remember watching like on KTLA when I was younger, and they were just like, oh, these costume, and they would say who they were, and they're like, yeah, these are from this movie, this is from that movie, and they would make money that way.
Yeah.
Is that ever a thought, or is that not allowed?
Well, no, because for me, I usually the stuff that they don't want, I do keep.
Mhm.
I have a storage unit full of crap.
Uh-huh.
Like,
This is crap.
But you could someday you could sell it then, and then you
well,
never
it's
know
not
what.
about no, because okay, this is what I'm going through. Like,
Okay.
I have a lot of stuff from like
A variety of
a
things.
variety of
So you
things
have
from
an
my
arsenal.
past jobs, maybe like the past 7 jobs that I've done,
Okay.
and I'm like, I want it out of my house.
Yeah.
A lot of it's contemporary clothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to get rid of that because you could get that at any time.
Right. Correct.
Right.
So the pieces that I want to keep are, custom made,
Yes.
vintage,
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
costumey things.
Yeah.
because everything else you can find. You can
Right.
go to the mall and just get it. you
Yeah.
know?
Girl, yes. Like when you go thrifting,
Exactly.
I found like this super cute jumpsuit that was like from the 60s or 70s, and I had it altered to fit me.
Yeah.
Yes. Every time I rock that, it's like
You'll have to show me a
so
picture.
super fun. I will.
Have
Oh
you
my
been
God.
to Jet Rag?
No, I'm a terrible shopper. I don't like to
Jet
shop.
Rag has a lot of like vintage clothing.
Where's this
They're
at?
on La Brea,
Okay.
but down from Pink's.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sundays they have a sale right when they open. I don't know if it goes all day. Everything's $1. They'll throw
Oh
like
God.
clothes out in the parking lot.
Oh my
Today's
God.
Sunday.
Sundays.
They're already
Sunday
open,
morning. Yeah,
though.
that's
It's
all
too
right.
late.
Like
Oh,
all
it's
the good
gone.
stuff's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Like a record.
But
Gotcha.
everything's $1. You should go scour.
Wait, plug it again.
What?
We'll plug it again. What's the name? What's the name of the company?
Jet Rag.
Jet Rag.
Jet Rag.
Okay.
And
One
they're
word,
on
2
La
word?
Brea. Jet Rag, 2 words.
Okay.
$1. Everything $1 on Sunday mornings.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I feel that next week Sunday or the Sunday that Robin's not
I won't be
working,
available.
She'll be there.
I was gonna
She
say
has
like
she has a stand.
I feel like she's gonna be like Alexa. I'm gonna be at the podcast kind of late. I'm
I'll be
gonna-
like, I don't feel well.
or you have someone there and you're like FaceTiming.
that's it.
Ooh, yeah. I forgot that they do that.
What I was gonna say, Robin, was that
It's only
that
20
meant
minutes away.
she looked it up.
No,
She looked it up.
It is a fun store.
And it
is
opens
a
on
fun
Sundays at
store.
10:30.
That-
So
yeah.
I can go before the podcast.
can.
That's
go
what I was trying to
before.
say. Is like I feel like on a Sunday that's coming up, we're gonna be going there before the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If it's vintage stuff, I'm so all in.
Oh, you're gonna
So
you're
next
gonna love it.
next Sunday, you'll know where to find Robin.
Yeah.
It's
Coffee,
like,
donut, go to Jet Rag,
There you
and then
go.
come here.
Done, done.
put it in the calendar. That's really
So
really good.
what was it? So you're building your arsenal of like
Well, I'm
Custom.
getting
Costuming.
rid of things.
But you're
It's just
keeping-
that
but
that's what I'm keeping.
yeah,
Yeah.
is the costuming.
Yeah, that shoes. I have a lot of shoes. I'm just like I can,
Yeah.
get rid of stuff. I'm just trying to organize.
I just thought it was always interesting because
Marie Kondo my kit.
yeah. Well, that's the reason why I didn't know that that you could do that, because when I would see this, they would do it once a year and they would always advertise it, and it would be like a huge warehouse, and it would be like from this time era or this movie, and people would go either because it was like great for Halloween.
Western Costume does that
Okay.
every year.
Every year. It was probably them.
Yeah, because they filter out a lot of stuff, and they have their entire parking lot, racks,
Yeah.
bins of.
Yeah.
All
And so
kinds of
that's why I
stuff.
thought like you can't have any of the clothes because that's where it goes.
Yeah.
that
No,
was
and-
my misconception, my misunderstanding of it. So that's
yeah,
pretty
they
cool.
do
though.
that sale, and everything's pretty cheap, and you have stuff that is easily recognizable from a movie.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
cool.
should go check that out too.
I wanna get
I
that.
don't know when that is. I'll send you guys that.
Have you
info, but
gone to that?
Yes, it's insane.
It is.
It's insane. A lot of people show up. There's a line.
I'm sure it's like
Big
nuts
line.
too. They're like, it's mine.
Yeah, it's a big
Really?
deal.
Like a bride-
Yeah, that's
a
usually when a
bridal.
lot of people go, and costumers get things for their kits, or
Mm.
a lot of people that aren't in the film industry that go there for Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you get good quality stuff.
Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the movie quality stuff. What is that from Step Brothers? It's okay, it's not movie quality. It's like- that's my life.
You just roll your eyes.
So what's the must have? What's in your kit? What do you suggest for someone that's starting off? Like, you must have this.
A small kit. It would be your lint roller, little sewing kit, baby wipes. A lot
Baby
of
wipes.
A lot of baby
Tons of
wipes.
baby
We
wipes.
use
Okay.
a lot of baby wipes.
And the
like
baby wipes is for.
cleaning
Just-
everything up.
Do you use
Or-
that Clorox? Have you? Were you
Tide-
happy?
the Tide
the
pen.
Yeah.
The Tide pen works.
Okay.
What else? Tide pen. Safety pins.
Mhm.
Safety pins.
Big bag of safety pins.
That's
Always
why I
have that
know.
up.
Always go to the when someone needs that. I was like, go to the costume.
Yeah.
Safety pins,
Clips.
like I
you
know
know,
where
like
to-
those paper clips.
Yeah.
Yeah, the C40.
That's
no,
good to
No,
like.
no,
no.
she's talking about.
No, like
different
like the
clips.
actual like.
Paper clips.
Yeah.
Gotcha. The
no,
binders. The binder clips.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm just letting you
We're
know.
doing this.
like this.
If you're watching this, it's like we're doing like the.
It's Sorry, I was just watching this happening.
I saw you're just like, oh god.
Charades, one
Wah,
or two
wah,
words,
wah.
binder
You
clips.
both kept saying paper clips, and you're doing this, and I'm like, binder clips. I'm like, I'm not even gonna
I
say
don't know.
anything.
And I was just at an office too.
I can't. But anyways, those are good to, tighten
Yeah.
stuff like for photo shoots. Or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, those are the necessary basics. for
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And where can people find you? And what's your next thing?
Oh, okay. I'm on Instagram at Costume Girl, spelled
Oh.
normally.
I like that. Do people spell it differently?
Yes, they
You
ask.
have
They're
to
like,
sometimes.
Oh,
They have
because
to- yeah,
you
Costume
were the
Girl,
one
they're
that took it first.
yes, and they're like, Costume Girl, is that like GRL? I was like, no, just like Costume Girl. And they're like, whoa, you got that? I was like, yes. I got it
OG.
right when
She's
I
the
got
OG.
Facebook, Isabel Mandujano. I do have a designer page as well, so when you look that up, the costume designer page will show up as well.
Very cool.
And right now
Do you have a website?
it's under construction. My friend Brian is supposed to be fixing it.
Brian, come on, Brian.
Come on, Brian.
Do it, Brian.
Hurry
come
up,
on.
Brian.
You
Um,
got this. Poor Brian. He's
Stop
like, oh my
bullying
gosh.
him. God.
Oh, he's gonna love you for saying that because he says I do that all the time. Sorry, Brian.
You're welcome, Brian.
IsabelMandujano.com.
Okay,
and
so
it's
as soon as Brian's done.
MANDUJANO.
Okay. Coming soon once Brian is done with it. We'll go to
I'll have all the goods up. And I don't have anything for the next couple weeks, but I am going to be starting another horror feature,
Ooh.
which I don't know too much about yet.
Okay.
But it's the same people that I just wrapped a creature horror.
Okay.
film with,
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so we'll wrap things up here. Thank you so much
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
This is
being
amazing.
here.
My first podcast, you guys.
All right.
I was so nervous.
No.
You did great. No, thank you for being here and being our first costume designer.
Oh, thank you very much.
We want that. We want different female filmmakers from different
Department.
departments.
Mhm.
Thank you. I was doing the binder clips
We'll just do
from
that for the
from different places. Departments. I was like, what is that? What's going on? So again, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I hope everyone out there has a happy and safe Sunday. I know it looks gloomy, but trust me, it's
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
So, yeah.
Oh, I
it's
love it.
beautiful.
This is perfect.
And also, thank you for doing this.
Oh.
For the platform for females to
Oh,
come out and
Thank you.
have their say.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
absolutely. And you're always welcome to come back.
Thank
We'd love to have you
I
come
would
back
love to
because
come back.
it's fun. Fun having you here.
She'll come back when she makes me something.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
yeah. There we go.
kidding.
I'll never see you again.
That was motivation.
Damn it!
And with that
Motivation.
note, everyone have a safe and happy Sunday.
You're listening to Female Filmmakers Fuse with Alexa Polar and Robin Pabello, only on LA Talk Radio.